Hey guys, Wilbur here, and we're going to go over the rare champion Apothecary. Most of you guys know that this rare champion is one of the best rares in the game, and in my mind, it's probably one of the best champions just because how easy it is to get him. You can book him out really easy, and just how well he can perform in some of this content. So recently, I switched my clan boss team from a counterattack speed tune team to more of a speed comp team, really trying to drive that speed up. And so I used Apothecary to really get over that hump on my speed. I don't have as much speed as I would like, but with him, I'm able to accomplish certain things in Ultra Nightmare that I haven't been able to do in the past. So on the tier list, I rank him out as number 1. So even though my overall score is actually tied with Kel, just based on the content that I rate these champions on, the content that he excels at, I think is a little more important. So I bumped him up to rank number 1. He's not like insane in campaign, in arena. He's good, but he's not insane. He's not a farmer that you would want to use. But there's a lot of other champions that we can use to get around that. But the other content, like the clan boss and all the dungeons, those he helps out so much. It's pretty ridiculous for being a rare, just how much he helps. So I want to go over some of the gear that I use him on, and then just kind of explain on the skills, why those skills are so important and how to utilize those. So we got Apothecary here. He is a rare. You can get him summoning. More than likely, you're going to run into him eventually. His base speed is 106. That is really high for a rare champion, for any champion really. 106 base speed is pretty high. His other stats are not too bad. So his defense is 1,000, and then his HP is 17,000. For a rare champion for base stats, that's pretty high. So because of his base speed, I am running him an all speed set. These speed sets are, the speed bonus that you get is based on your base speed. So the higher base speed you have, the more you're going to get out of these artifacts. So, to be honest, in all this gear, my main focus was trying to get rolls on speed substats. Anything else that I could get, I don't need accuracy, but, HP percent, defense percent, crit rate, any of those other substats were kind of a bonus because I'm just trying to bump up my speed as much as possible. So for all this gear here, it's really going to be speed substats, and I don't have great gear on him. Like you look on this is a 2 roll on speed. It's a 4-star, so that's only 10 speed. I definitely have a lot of work that I can do on him, but this is what I have right now. This is what I have to roll with. But eventually I definitely want to get his speed a lot higher. On the gauntlets and the chest, I have HP percent. Ideally, I want defensive percents on both of these, but for what I had, I needed speed substats, and HP percent on a speed set gear was all I had. On the boots, always go speed on this guy. You need a lot of speed, so get speed. Try to get your defense and HP percent substats if you can. Crit rate is also good. We'll talk about that here in a second. So for accessories, I think I went all defense primary stats. I could be wrong, but substats, try to get your percents there again. You don't need accuracy. Get your defense primaries there. And then banner, if you can get lucky and get speed substats, get that as well, because for accessories, that is the only substat slot that you can get for speed. So for overall stats here, again, not great, but this is what I have to work with. Priority was speed, so I have 284 speed. And then I wanted to get my defense up quite a bit in HP. I had to sacrifice my crit rate, and we'll talk about kind of where that benefits him. But that was just something I had to sacrifice. That's all I have right now. And I had other priorities for my clan boss. So for his skills, his A1 attacks a random enemy 3 times. So 3 times at random, sorry. So for clan boss, there's only one enemy. He's going to hit the clan boss 3 times. There's that Giant Slayer mastery that we have. We're going to utilize that with this skill. For his A2, he's going to heal a target by 35% of their HP. It's on a 2-turn cooldown. So if you have a lot of speed on him, he's rotating this skill really fast. And this is where, if you have a lot of crit rate, this is where it's beneficial because he can actually crit this heal. So if you can manage to get his crit rate high, do it. But I wouldn't focus on a priority for that. So this is the skill that we want. His A3 increases the speed of all your allies. It puts a buff on them for 30%. And this 30% is based on their total speed, not their base speed. And it also fills their turn meter by 15%. Anytime we can get a skill with these two combinations on it, we definitely like. This is so helpful. So if you look at my clan boss kind of stats here, I have in here a total speed column just for my clan boss team. And then I've added a speed at 30%. So for example, we're talking about Apothecary here. His speed is 284 right now. With his buff that hopefully I can keep up consistently, he has 369 speed with that buff. That helps a lot on clan boss, especially when I need to lap the Ultra Nightmare. Because there's certain things that I have in my comp that if I don't overlap the clan boss, I can't do it. So for the masteries here, we'll talk about the support first because I know my picture tends to hide the offensive tree. But for the support, I went down and got some HP and anything that would benefit my heals. But the main reason that I'm going down this is to get the lasting gifts. Because that speed buff, let's say something happens and I can't overlap the clan boss to get that skill back up again. If I can extend that duration of that speed buff, that is going to help me so much. So the only other thing that I really want to point out here on the support is this Laura Still. Because we're running 3 sets of speed, we're going to get 3 of these bonuses. Now, it's not an insane bonus. It doesn't help dramatically, but every bit of speed that you can get when you're trying to focus on a character to get max speed is going to help. So for your offensive tree, let's move this here. So for your offensive tree, we're going to get crit rate and crit damage. That is always priority when you go down this tree. And, I went ahead and got this where if someone dies, it's going to increase his speed just to help out like in dungeons and clan bosses. But the main thing we want to get here is Giant Slayer. This is where the A1 comes into play. So, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this character. In my mind, he's the best rare in the game. You can do so much with him. And, you don't automatically have to have that much speed. As you progress in your account, just slowly build up his speed. You saw there, I had some 4-star pieces of gear on him that had 2 rolls, but were only 10 speed. You don't have to get him insane speed right away, but work on him, level him up, skill him out, because you might get duplicates of him, or, the rare tombs are more kind of common in this game. So hopefully that helps you guys. Again, use Apothecary. He is phenomenal. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.